Welcome back out. It's another chance for us to talk to one of our athletes of the week, and Bernard Girard taking the time to sit down and talk with us. First rodeo of the spring, and you come out taking the all-around title on the men's side. You also come out on top in the tie-down. How did it feel just to kind of get back out there, Bernie?
Man, it was really good. The practice there for about the first month and a half was kind of dragging on. It's nowhere to go and kind of going through the motions. But then, like the last 3 weeks there, everybody's kind of getting ready to go. And we had like a jackpot, steer wrestling jackpot there Thursday night before we left to go to Gillette, and kind of got everybody in the zone to go. I went to a jackpot the weekend before and kind of got ready to start rodeoing, and just having that good of a start for right off the bat was awesome. Maybe kind of keep the ball rolling.
You kind of talked about the vibe and practice that you guys had there. Is there something special about the way this team is vibing? Because me and Seth have been talking about it. I wasn't here for the fall last year or 2 years ago, but I was here for the spring, and both me and Seth have been kind of talking about this team seems to have a bit more of unitedness to them. Not saying last year's team wasn't, but this year's team seems to have a bit more camaraderie.
No, I agree 100%. Seth's been honest about trying to get a men's team to the finals, and, I think we got even the guys that aren't on the points team, I think they really are rooting for everybody to win, and we're rooting for them guys to win too, Like we had a couple guys on the points team make the steer wrestling. A couple guys just miss it. I think we had like maybe 11th, 12th, and 13th too. I mean, just a handful of us just right there on getting in there to that short round. And when everybody's rooting for us to win, whether we're on the points team or not, boys and girls, it really kind of brings everybody together, and that's an awesome feeling.
Talk a little bit, too, about the idea that you guys have really the centermost run here when it comes to the rodeos. You don't have to go too far for a lot of those, and you get a lot of practice time in your own barn. How does that help when the stress is off because you have teammates supporting you? The stress is off because you don't have to travel and worry about hauling your horses as far, and also the stress is kind of off because you do get that sleep in your own bed before you head to a place.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Like this weekend we left. I think we got out of here at like 6:30, kind of early, kind of not that early. Kind of eased our way down there. Got there a couple hours before. But like this weekend in Torrington, it's an hour, 15 minutes. Shoot, we could sleep in till 7 or 8, and wake up and mosey down there, and not having all that extra stress on them horses, sitting in a trailer for 5-6 hours like a lot of them people do, that wears on them horses come about that third or fourth rodeo. You can start to see it, and where us, we throw them in, and it seems like they get thrown off as soon as they get in. That's a big deal. Even for us driving, you don't get stoved up or waking up at 4 a.m., and it's a huge part of it, especially spring. Classes are degrees are coming to the end. Seems like the schoolwork's always a little bit more loaded up in the spring. So you take that in with the driving and the hauling and the wear and tear on everything. It really gives us an advantage.
Talk a little bit, too, about the spring side of things, because you know better than almost anybody else how important this can be. We've talked about it before in other interviews, but the bigger thing I want to talk to you about is how does that kind of spread to some of the other guys that are trying to make those pushes, because there's multiple events where you guys on the guys and the girls team have people in that top 10 that are kind of shading their way towards the spot in the CNFR.
Yeah, no, the regions, the top 3 in the region that go to the Casper, that's always decided in the spring. You can have a great fall and kind of be, top 3, but if you kind of slack off in the spring, somebody gets on a roll, they placed all 5 rodeos, that little cushion you had don't seem like very much. So if you can kind of get the ball rolling and keep it rolling in the spring, and everybody kind of starts stressing out about Casper, and you just don't overthink it and just keep making your runs. It's hard to get there to Casper. There's a lot of great talent, but if you can get a roll in the spring, it's a great momentum shift, and it's all the way around for the team too.
Talk about yourself on that side, too. Where's your confidence at right now? Because not only did you have success in this rodeo in both the all-around and tie-down and steer wrestling, for that matter, you took third there as well, but you, in some of the jackpots and some of the other kind of freelance rodeos that you guys have had around, you've been having some success there this spring. How much did that carry over?
Oh, great deal of it. Like that weekend before we went to Gillette, I went to a calf rope and jackpot, won 2 rounds, had a couple of 9. That jackpot there at the school before we went, won that steer wrestling jackpot, just a 2-header. But just the momentum that you get from that and that confidence, like I don't have to do anything spectacular, that these rodeos. I just got to go use my calf and use my steers at the best that they can be used and not beat myself. That's the biggest thing. If I can just keep putting my runs together and not step on my own toes, I think everything's going to fall into place. And I think it goes for the whole team. The way the practice has been going, I think if everybody just takes care of their own business, I think we'll do great.
Last piece for you, Bernie, and that's just great. You mentioned it a little bit, that schoolwork. For you yourself, though, you're a senior. This is your last kind of go-around for both the grades and for getting to that CNFR. How have you handled the pressure of that so far this year, especially now that you've gotten back on campus and have a few more in-person classes?
I really haven't thought about it too much. I've been there, done that. I've made the college finals before. I've had the crunch time in the classes. I kind of know how to schedule everything to make sure I get everything done. I kind of got you could call it a routine. I'm getting to be an old man, I like my routines, wake up, have my coffee, maybe look at some stuff. But if a guy can get into a routine and then have a rhythm going at the rodeos, shoot, the spring's so much fun. I mean, it's not even like you're trying the rodeo. You're just showing up, making runs. And when you can take out the mindset of you have to win or we've got to keep winning the beat, get a team there and stuff, if you can just put all that aside and you can just go rodeo to have fun, then it's easy, and I think the team's really starting to see that.
Bernard Girard, Athlete of the Week from the LCCC rodeo team on the men's side, coming away with the all-around title from the last one up in Gillette, as well as the tie-down title. Bernie, hope to see more big things from you and the rest of the
I hope so too, man. Maybe we can get together again.